Okay, folks, so we're going to go ahead and get started by jumping in with Ozone 11. So you have a track that you've mixed, you're ready to take and master. So here I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do a quick start with it, show you the different sections of it, and then really invite you, as far as a little homework assignment, to just delve in and really get your feet wet with this wonderful plugin. So here I have Ozone set up on my master output. I do have a track right now, which is a gospel tune that I had the privilege of working on with some friends of mine. Pastor Scott, actually a good friend of mine, Scott McClimate, who's doing the lead vocal on here, along with some other great musicians. So we're going to take a listen just so you can see what it sounds like right now before we do anything with the mastering portion of it. So let's take a listen.
Be like you, Lord, to follow in footsteps too big for me. I think to myself, will I ever be able to measure up to the love showed to me when you sent your son to die on the cross for me? I wanna be like you.
So of course the name of the song is I Want to Be Like You. It's a great song. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do to get it ready for mastering and distribution. So let's take a look. Open up Ozone. So the first thing I want to do is show you the different sections of the plugin to familiarize yourself. So here we have 4 different areas of focus. There is this guy here, which is if you're going to use the application to focus on bass stem, as far as any bass sounds that you're working with in your mix. This would be for drums. This is for vocal. But this selection right here, which is what we're going to focus on for this tutorial, is applying processing for the entire input signal or the actual mix itself. So this is going to be for mastering of the full mix. Here there are 2 different sections. We have here, which is the detailed view, which is what we're in right now. We'll hop over to take a look at the assisted view, but that'll be after we get things set up, just so you can see the difference. Your presets will be located in this window here. Oh, sorry about that. Let me get back. There we go. You can click on this pen and update plugin name and information if you want to take and make any revisions. Say you have something that you want to undo, you can click on that. It'll undo it and go back to your last setting. Here is your history window when you click on this icon to show you all the different little steps you've taken. Settings by clicking on that cogwheel. And the question mark, actually, when you click on it, will take you to a help section to the Ozone site. Input section here, and this is also your output section, where you'll see the meter readings up here with regards to the levels. If you want to bypass it, you can certainly do that by clicking on that. Gain matching. Here you can select to go from mono to stereo or vice versa. Okay. Reference. Notice it changes this window here. Gives you a different look so you can see the graph of what you're working with as far as what you're mastering. Your codec information will actually be in this area when you select it. And of course there's dithering as well if you want to get down into those specifics. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to go to this preset. And for all intents and purposes, you look here and it has different categories. So there's Ozone Legacy presets, genre specific, all-purpose mastering. So if we go to all-purpose mastering and I come down here, you see different options that you have, everything from low energy to low end power, wide stereo image. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to see if I can get genre specific. and I am going to actually select country. Notice when I click on that, all of a sudden you have these different processors that populate here in this area. When you click on each one, the window displays here, and you can actually not only tweak what it is that's showing as far as the settings, but when you click on these hash marks, here it gives you some additional listings of things that you can select as a starting point to get you going. So I'm going to select richness and depth for this one. Okay, you notice how it changes the parameters of the EQ. You go over here to your dynamics, right? You say we want to use analog dynamics. That gives you a starting point there. Okay, stabilizer, vintage tape, imager, maximizer. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, and I'm going to use, I'll say, classic master for this one. So I've gone through and I've made some selections. Let's take a listen to see what the song sounds like now with what I've actually selected.
To follow in footsteps too big for me. I think to myself, will I ever be able to measure up to the love show?
So not bad, but we're still not quite where we want to be, right? So we can actually experiment a little bit. So here I'm in the maximizer. Notice what happens when I make adjustments using this here in the actual window, the gain window here. So let's take a listen.
To follow in footsteps too big for me. I think to myself, will I ever be able to measure up to the love showed to me when you sent your son to die on the cross for me.
So you notice here it actually gives you a representation in the graph of the adjustments that you're making. We're still not done. You want to try a couple little things here. We'll try drive in the vintage tape just to see what that sounds like. Let's see what we have here.
I wanna be like you. I wanna be like you, Lord. I wanna be like you. I wanna be like you, Lord.
So as you try different settings, you get different outcomes. You may even get around to something that you really like. So I want to take a listen and go back and get out of this particular mode here, which is the detailed view. Let's look at the assistant. Now that's going to work a little differently, because what you want to do is select the loudest portion of your song to actually have that work. So we'll click on it, and notice this comes up and it says play the loudest section of your mix. So let's take a listen.
On the cross for me. I wanna be like you.
It is automatically getting you to a starting point. And notice that it went down and selected rock as the genre as far as a mix to go ahead and begin with. Here you have the tonal balance, loudness. This gives you a graph, kind of the starting point of where it would be. So let's go back, and I'm going to change a little bit here where our starting point is. Let's take a listen to see what we have.
To follow in footsteps too big for me. I think to myself, will I ever be able to measure up to the love?
You can also make adjustments here with the EQ. You can increase it.
To follow in footsteps too big for me. I think to myself, will
Loudest, you could do the same thing there. And if you want to go back to the detailed view to take a look at the different processes that the assistant actually selected for you, you can click on that window and there they are. And you can go right in and make adjustments there. So I hope this is a help for you to get started with this impressive mastering suite by Ozone 11. If you have any questions, hop over to my website, acpopemusic.com, and you can hit me up, and you can also find me on Instagram and Threads as well. Thank you so much.